This will be a quick introduction to H5P. So I'll just scroll down to where I'd like this to be. And you can see I have a number of these already, but if I didn't and I wanted to start afresh, I would just come down here as we usually do and go to Add Activity or Resource. I would choose that H5P, and you can see there's a number of options here. It opens up with not just the video, but quite a few different possibilities. And I don't see a great deal of value in these presently myself, except for interactive video. So I can choose that. And that will give me a bunch of options, as is common in Moodle for each of these, but this has even more than most. So I am going to put in some information about what I'm going to do here, and this is standard information for Moodle. I put in the description of that. There is a tutorial and examples of all the H5P options. If you want to look at that, those are valuable and fairly well done. This is the title that will display above the video itself. Metadata, that's actually a button that you can put in some background information for making it searchable. I will point out that it's not outward facing for us, so it's unnecessary. I will come down here, and it shows that I can do several things here. The three areas are where you upload the video and add some information about how it's going to work broadly, the global settings. Then it's going to have add interactions, and that's what we'll spend most of our time on today. And then the summary task is just a final interaction that comes up at the end of the piece. So the first thing one must do is click this Add Video. That opens the options to upload it or to use a YouTube clip. I'll show you the steps for both. If I'm going to upload a file, I'll just click right here, and obviously I'll just navigate through until I see the file that I want. I'll click that, hit open, and then it'll upload. It'll take a moment or two. If you know the quality of the video, they ask you to put it in here. If you don't worry about it. Then I'm going to come down here and open up this window, and it's going to ask me some basic questions, which I will answer. If instead of uploading a clip, I just wanted to use an existing clip that I know is on YouTube, I would click the same button there, but now I'm going to just insert a video here, and then I'll just click that, and now I have access to that YouTube video, which will be visible when I go to Add Interaction. And I will point out that some of the functionality in this does not work on YouTube videos. Just be conscious of that. The directions are pretty clear. Here it asks for a poster image. Now this is going to be the thumbnail. It'll also be the opening screen. That'll be a still. You don't have to do this for YouTube because they provide their own, but if you're uploading stuff for, say, your department, you may very well want to have your department title and logo there, whatever you use as a standard. Below that, this closed captioning information you can put in there if you're not using a YouTube, but if you're uploading your own. Behavioral settings you can set within YouTube, or you can set them for if you've uploaded one. So here I've uploaded a video, and I know that the first minute of it is an introduction, so I just put in 1 minute. Autoplay video, clearly if I want it to be paused as they go to this, or I want it to autoplay, and then loop the video. Do you want it to run in a circle? By default, if there's a question asked, it shows the Show Solution button, and then after they see the solution, they go back in and they do it again. Then retry. We'll show you this in a moment here. It allows you to try it again, so that students, they can just hit retry, go back, give it a shot. Once again, it reinforces the learning, but not so much assessment. Then I can turn this on, start with Bookmarks Menu open, and I'll show you what that looks like. Show button for rewinding looks like this. Now prevent skipping forward. Now this is terrific for, say, a traditional student, maybe an entry-level learner, and you want to make sure that they're going through this, they're answering the questions in sequence, they're getting the correct answers before you allow them to continue. Now if it's on YouTube, for instance, they'll be able to go out and see it separately, but they won't get credit for the interactions unless they go through it on the program. If you select prevent skipping forward in a video, it's really frustrating, though, to the self-motivated learner. They just want to move forward and they don't want to be held up. There are some of the interactions that will not allow you to move forward until you've gone through them. If you allow prevent skipping forward in a video, they can just drag the playhead forward and continue without doing that. Now, if what you're trying to do is strictly visual, you might want to deactivate the sound, especially if the background noise is distracting. We have text overrides and translations, and that is necessarily advanced functions, and we won't be covering that today. And it's unlikely that for your classes you're going to need to allow them to embed this in other activities, or to allow to download if you want them to work within this framework. So having those off makes sense. I would keep display action bar and frame visible. And then the balance of these are Moodle functions that are covered if you deal with Moodle at all anyways. But understand that this is going to keep track of what they're doing in these videos and will inform the Moodle grading process. And I will end this first video clip on H5P with this comment, that save and return to course or save and display for Moodle, as we're all aware, are crucial so you don't lose your work. Within the H5P interaction, and you'll be able to hit done and move forward for every interaction you put in there, and there can be quite a few of them. However, you've still got to come down and hit save and return to course or save and display, or you'll lose all your work. So just because the H5P interaction gives you the chance to basically say hit done, which one would assume is a save function, it doesn't save it more broadly to the activity. And then finally, the saving of the H5P generally takes longer than any of the other things I've worked with, primarily because videos are generally large files. So if it says it's not done, you can click wait and then let it keep working. I've had to click wait a couple of times in a row before it would go forward. This will be the end of this introduction.